Bulls were mentioned in The Athletic, Kelly Iko, as one of the teams that are interested in acquiring Cam Whitmore, which is pretty interesting when you look at it, right? Cam Whitmore is a very talented player. He's a player that I like on potentially on this team, and he's a player that's kind of falling out of the rotation a little bit by the Houston Rockets. I mean, they play him, but it's kind of inconsistent minutes at inconsistent times. He hasn't outright requested a trade, according to The Athletic, but he would be open and willing to take a move. He's a second-year player. He's only played 2 years in the league so far. 6'7", 230 pounds. This guy's mainly defense, but he does have some upside offensively as well. You look at his rookie year in 2023-24, he did average 12 points, only 9 shots, right, which is really good efficiency, and that's solid enough for a role player. He shot the ball 35% in both of his years in the NBA so far at 35% from three, taking 4.1 3-pointers per game, which is solid enough number. Not like huge volume, but solid enough when it comes down to it. And this is a guy that, 4 rebounds basically for his career, 3.5, 3 last year. And so he's a solid player, only 20 years old, has tremendous upside, and it would make a lot of sense for the Bulls to want to acquire a player like that. The Bulls who have wanted to acquire young players with some experience. Now, he doesn't have as much experience as some of the other young players that the Bulls have acquired, like a Josh Giddey, Jalen Smith. These are 2 young guys that do have tons of years and years of NBA experience. Cam Whitmore doesn't really have that. But I'll tell you this is a more low-cost potential acquisition and a better fit than potentially Jonathan Kuminga to this team. Now, some could say, well, Hayes, he doesn't necessarily have the upside of a Jonathan Kuminga either as a scorer. And I would say, yeah, you're probably right on that. I think that's a fair statement. But is he what the Bulls more so need, right? Keep in mind, the Bulls do need defense, and that is something that we're there. Now, Cam Whitmore reportedly he has expressed his displeasure with being at the end of the bench with that Houston Rockets team. So I think he's open to being out there. Now, he doesn't have much leverage. He's on a rookie scale deal. The Houston Rockets have not, for their credit, have not shown any big inclination on moving off of Cam Whitmore either. But you got to think that a team like the Chicago Bulls that's young, up and coming, that would have a role for Cam Whitmore as well. I know Kevin Huerter is there. I know, Ayo Dosunmu's here as well. Make no mistake about it. I think, both those guys can have a role for the Bulls. But Cam Whitmore, I look at him as a really good option next to Matas Buzelis. I think if you have a front court of Cam Whitmore and Matas Buzelis at the 3 and the 4, you have now a versatile 3-4 matchup, which is really kind of what, like I said many times, is what the NBA is really going to,